Hello, I'm Lowell Martin, and this is MCC Today. You're going to learn a lot. On today's show, we have Gloria Adams, Kelli Wallace, and Shaquita Hobson. You're going to learn a lot. Get ready.
We're turning the tables, rewriting the rules, letting the world know that success is not reserved for the privileged few. Every dreamer, every believer, every fighter has a chance to rise above. Together, we will find your path and change your future. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, at Meridian Community College, you are worth it. Now is your time. Find your wings.
And we're here with the wonderful Miss Kelli Wallace. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
I just found out that I have been at MCC 27 years, and she is 27 years old. And let me just tell you how old that makes me feel. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're on the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Now, what is your official title?
My official title is Director of Housing and Student Activities. Such a mouthful.
Yes, Director of Housing and Student Activities, and that is a lot. You are located in the Quave.
Yes.
In the Quave Center.
By the bathrooms.
Which is a very nice office, by the way. But located in the Quave Center. But you were in charge of, first off, housing, which fun.
Yes, it's the funnest part, right?
A lot of interesting stuff. Do students still have to have do we have to go and look at their rooms and make sure everything is in order? How often do we have to do that, or do we do that?
Bi-weekly. So we actually conducted our first room inspection last week.
Okay.
And it actually went pretty well to start off the semester.
Good.
Our next one will be next week, of course. I'm hoping that it falls to the same suit of last week. We'll see.
But the thing is, there is nothing wrong with having high standards, letting the students know exactly what you expect of them, and then going and kind of making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Most definitely.
There's nothing wrong with that. But the other part of your job is the student activities.
Yes.
And you were just kind of naming and listing the activities that are going on this month. So what all do we have going on this month?
I feel like a running calendar when I represent student activities.
I'm telling you.
So next week we have our blood drive on campus. It will be from 10 to 4 o'clock on September the 13th and 14th.
Okay. Now with that, they don't make appointments or anything like that, do they?
So they can, and that's actually on our website. You can find that at meridiancc.edu/blood. I know it's like blood, but literally you can go there and you can book an appointment, but they are accepting walk-in.
Okay, so do a lot of people do the appointments, make the appointments?
Yes, a lot of people that are able to get extra points for their programs definitely make appointments so they can get those extra points on any quizzes or things that their teachers may let them have.
Okay, but as you said, they do accept walk-ins.
Yes.
Typically speaking, and you might not know the answer to this, but typically speaking, about how much time do you need to allot to giving blood?
15 to 20 minutes. It's
not
long at all.
That's not long. That is not long at all. Okay, but blood is desperately needed always.
Yes.
So it's very good that if you can donate, to please go down there and donate. Do you have to show identification of any kind or anything like that?
No, you do not. As long as we're here to take and accept any and all of the blood. So
you
whatever
look human. Come here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, good. So we've got a blood drive.
Yes.
Next
we have Fall Fest.
Okay.
So that will be September the 18th through the 21st.
Okay.
The first day of that event will be the 18th. We will have our MCC Loaded Tea Day, where College Park Nutrition will actually come on our campus and be located in Ivy Scats and make loaded teas from 8 to 10 o'clock.
Okay, now my idea of loaded tea and your idea of loaded tea might be completely different. So when you say loaded tea, what do you mean?
Healthy.
Okay.
A healthy tea. And they're actually going to do MCC themed teas that day. So they'll have 2 MCC teas that our students, faculty, and staff can pick from. So I think that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So maybe they'll have like an Eagle tea.
Okay. So we've got Fall Fest. So you got the tea.
Yes.
The loaded tea. And then what else do you know of that's going to be there and happen?
So Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. there will be a karaoke night in the PTK courtyard.
Okay.
So if you're a star, come show us all of your tips and tricks.
I am so not a star.
I think you are. You're the MCC star.
No, thank
sure.
you though. But the PTK courtyard, which is absolutely beautiful,
It is.
they've redone it, and it just looks amazing. So anyone who, if you can get there, yes, come in. Yes. Do you think you'll have any trouble getting people up to sing?
You know, I feel like this. It's got a stage, we got lights, we'll have food, and if they are shy, by the time that some of us get up and perform, I think it'll be open and friendly and inviting for everybody to get up and sing.
Yes, I think it will. Are you planning on getting up and singing?
I think that night my throat is going to be hurting.
Okay.
I just feel like that well in advance.
Okay, I got you. All right. So we've got the karaoke night. Anything else that's going on with Fall Fest?
Yes. So Wednesday we will have Eagle Olympics on the soccer field.
Okay.
So that day we have plenty of fun tricks, plenty of fun games and activities for teams of 4 to be able to participate in.
Do they have to sign up beforehand?
Yes, and that'll be at 5 o'clock. The event will kick off at 5:30, so they have a 30-minute time frame to be able to sign their team up.
Okay, so you have a lot of fun activity. Anything else for Fall Fest? Or?
The final day, which will be Thursday,
okay.
will have the main event.
Okay.
So on the main event, we'll have various staff vendors that will be selling things. We'll have PTK, we'll have child development, all of those different programs that we have on campus will be selling games, that will have all kinds of fun things for the students to be able to participate in, and that event will be from 10 to 1 p.m.
And they usually have lots of great music and lots of great, just a lot happening.
Pop people in the face, you never know.
Oh, fun.
You want to get potted in the face, Lowell?
No, I don't, but I will come and I will participate and I will help out as much as I can. It is difficult sometimes because MCC has been known as a commuter college.
Yes.
And most people, it's like they go to class, they get in the car, they go home. How do you encourage people to stay and participate in things like the Fall Fest? How do you encourage that? What mentality do you go into it with, okay, this is what we got to do?
I feel like being intentional behind planning the event.
Okay.
Not planning something just to say it's planned, but planning something that I know, and I hate to say this, but because I am a little closer to their age, I can kind of relate to some of the things that they may feel is worth the drive, coming back.
Or worth staying.
Yes. A lot of students, sometimes when they go home, they don't come back, and then even when they're out of class, they say, hey, I'm going to go home at this point. There's nothing worth me staying for.
Right.
So to be intentional behind planning those events and actually have them worth the wait or worth the drive, I think is an important
And letting
piece.
people know
Well in
that the
advance.
events are coming, and this is because everything sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
So just come and have a lot of fun. Is there anything else that we're planning after Fall Fest?
We have our fall transfer fair where we will have various universities and institutions as well as branches of the military present in Ivy Skaggs.
Okay.
They will be there from 9 to 12 p.m. on the 27th.
On the 27th of this month.
Yes, sir.
Are you exhausted just talking about that?
I am. I sat at my desk today and I was like, oh, let me get to planning October.
I'm telling you. So I want to have you back on October to talk about this further, but go over the dates again for this month, beginning with the blood drive. Is when?
It is the 13th through the 14th from 10 to 4.
Okay, and then Fall Fest?
It will be the 18th through the 21st, various times.
And then MCC transfer something.
Yes, the transfer fair will be the 27th from 9 to 12 p.m.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
MCC costs less and gives you more. Are you ready to jumpstart your career but don't have the time for a traditional 4-year degree? Meridian Community College can have you workforce ready in as little as 1 semester. We have workforce programs ranging from 1 semester to 2 years with experienced instructors and hands-on training that will help you gain the skills you need to succeed and start earning a paycheck sooner. Find your wings at Meridian Community College.
And we are here with the wonderful Miss Gloria Adams. How are you doing?
Hey, Lowell. Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Now, what is your official title?
I am the Medical Assisting Technology Program Coordinator and Instructor.
Oh, that's
Mouthful.
It is now, but You're basically, the people that you train are the ones who, yeah, as you said, the medical assistants. And what kind of jobs are they able to get once they complete your program?
They work in ambulatory clinics. That's just regular clinics like family medicine, specialty clinics. They can work at cardiology, dermatology. They work in the clinic setting.
Okay. Now, to get in, how many students do you accept?
I accept up to 15 every fall.
Every fall, not in the spring, only in the fall. You
Right.
accept 15. Okay.
Right, yes, sir. My program is a 65 credit program, so it is an Associate of Applied Science degree. So it is technically 4 semesters, but they're only with me for 3 semesters.
Okay. Now, what kind of prerequisites do they have to have before they can get into your program?
Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2
Okay.
with lab.
And it really helps to have a good grade in anatomy.
It does, it does.
Because I was telling a young lady the other day who was taking A&P, and she did not want to read the textbook. And I was like,
Oh.
look, let me just tell you something. Okay, and she was trying to get in one of the programs. I'm like, it's not going to work
No.
if you have a bad grade, because
Right.
this is competitive.
Right. Everything is blind admission, or any
Right.
program is supposed to be blind admission. So, you know, an A gets you maybe 3 points, where a B is only going to get you 2 points, and a C is only going to get you 1 point. So to be at the top of somebody or a program spreadsheet, you need to make those A's in those classes.
So nothing besides A&P 1 and 2 to
Right.
get in.
A&P
Do they
1
have
and
to have
2?
an ACT
Yes,
score
sir.
of
16.
at least 16? That's
sir.
composite.
Right, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can they, when they finish with you, when they finish with us, when they get the AAS degree, can they go for further education?
They sure can, absolutely.
Okay. And do we have any kind of agreements?
Oh, we do. Mississippi State. There's several agreements out there that the student can go and transfer some of their credits.
Would that help them employment-wise?
Yes, absolutely.
To get more education with
And
that?
after the students graduate, they do sit for a national board.
Okay.
And whenever they pass boards, they'll get a credential. And credentialed MAs do make more
Okay.
than just a regular MA.
And that credential, will that allow them to go anywhere in America?
Anywhere in the United States.
Okay.
It's not like a license. A license is great. I'm not knocking a license. But usually a license is only good in that state. Now you can apply for a license in another state. But with a credential for a medical assistant, it's good in any state. So they could, if they did like travel MA, they could work in Mississippi this week, Louisiana next week, Alabama the next week.
Are the jobs out there
Oh, yes,
for
yes.
them, waiting for them?
Yes, sir,
The money's
absolutely.
okay?
The money is good, yes, sir.
Okay. So if somebody is like sitting at home watching television and they're like, I don't know what I want to go into, but I'd like something. What kind of people do you think would make good students for you?
Okay, so
Or would do well in this program?
The person that does not like to be in a rut, the person that is kind of hyper, you know, like me and you, you know, bouncy kind of
I'm
person.
medicated.
But you know, with medical assistants, they're multi-skilled, so they do both clinical and administrative duties.
Okay.
So that's working at the front desk, working straight with the physician.
So it's never just one job.
Never just one job. You know, some people, those people that work in the nursing, like nurses that work in the hospital, they're on a floor and they only do that one job all day long. With a medical assistant, you could be doing an EKG in room 2, get through with that, go draw blood in room 3, get through with that, and go give a shot in room 4.
And it's never boring.
It's never boring. You're on your feet, you're going from one thing to another, you're multi-skilled.
What drew you to this particular type of work?
Okay. Well, I've been an MA for 28 years.
Right.
And I love the profession because I wanted that one-on-one with the patients. I liked the clinic setting. I did not like emergency care. I did not want to work in the emergency room. I don't do well with adrenaline at all.
No.
So I like that smaller setting that I can get to know my patients. I worked in the clinic for 18 years before I started here at MCC, and that's the one thing that I miss more than anything is my patients.
Was the transition difficult to go from working there to becoming an instructor?
It was different.
It was just, okay.
It was different. I'm not
How
gonna
long
say.
did it take you to kind of transition, if you don't mind me asking?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's just totally different being in the classroom, which in the clinic setting, I did, you know, the new hire stuff, the new hire training. So I was already training people when I was in the clinic setting. But, you know, it's just a whole lot more paperwork on this side of instruction than in the clinic setting.
Now you brought some stuff here.
I
Now
brought
you
some
had said these are
toys.
some of the things that that they would be asked to do.
Yes, sir.
And you said it's many different things.
Oh, yes,
So what
we-
kind of things are we looking at here?
We have all kind of different toys that help. I call them toys, of course, they're
Sure.
not toys, but we have the stethoscope and the sphygmomanometer. This is a blood pressure. Sphygmomanometer. Say it again.
Okay. Sphygmomanometer.
Pretty close, very good. So it's a blood pressure cuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's this layman term name. But we have that, and then we have an ear thermometer.
Okay.
And then this little thing here is how I teach my students how to remove stitches.
Okay.
So that's what that is.
Would they ever be asked to put stitches in? Or
No,
just
absolutely not. No.
Okay.
My students prescribe, diagnose, or IVs. Those are the
Okay.
three things that are off the table.
Okay.
Prescribing and diagnose, that's going to be the medical physician, the provider.
Right.
And then the IVs would be the RN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do most of the people who are in your program now, if they complete the program and they take that credentialing, is there a job out there waiting for them?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Or do we have more jobs out there than we have students, do you think? Or is it about?
Well, you know, with the turnover now that's going on, there are lots of jobs available. It's just getting, a lot of the problem with MAs is the nurse practitioners. It's not really a problem, but the nurse practitioners are getting where they run the facility, run the clinic, there's no medical doctor, and there are a few things that the MA cannot do under the nurse practitioner,
Okay.
And that's just state law.
Okay. So they would have to have a doctor there to be able
Right.
to do some of that.
Some
Okay.
of their skills,
And
yes,
you
sir.
said that of the 4 semesters, 3 are with you.
Right.
What's the other one?
That
What are they?
first semester would be their prereqs.
Okay. Oh, so you include the prereqs in the whole, okay, as far
Yes,
as
sir.
the whole program.
And of course, there's some gen ed classes, English Comp 1, public speaking, psychology, but those are actually spread out with my 3 semesters. But I always tell a student, if they are looking to get in a program, go ahead and take all those gen ed classes. That's more points that they can get on that spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And then they don't have to worry with those when they're with me in the program.
Do your classes add up to be 12 hours or 15 hours each semester?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So they don't have to worry about getting number of hours for financial aid or
Right,
anything like
right.
that. Thank you so much for being.
Thank
Every
you
time
for
you're on
having
here,
me.
I appreciate you being on. And anyone who is interested in this program, they need to get in touch with who?
They can get on our website. There's information there. They can speak to Aisha Robertson, that's the Health Education Advisor, or they can send me an email, and my email address and my office phone number is on my website. Just go to the MCC website, go to Programs of Study, Career Technical, Medical Assisting.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lowell. Appreciate
We'll be
you.
right back.
Not essential. Never let anyone tell you that again. Never doubt your abilities to make a difference. How do I know this about you? Because I'm a teacher. I am the one who will push you harder and farther than you could have ever imagined. Teach you things that you never thought possible. And if you will give me 100%, then I will stand shoulder to shoulder with you, and together we will change your future. MCC, find your wings.
And we hear the wonderful Miss Shaquita Hobson, not Alfonso,
It is Shaquita Alfonso. I dropped the Hobson.
just today or
Yeah,
in
I'm
general?
thinking maybe for 2 or 3 days, and I'm gonna pick it back up.
Because you were hyphenated for quite a long period of
I
time.
was. I didn't like that. The hyphen, it was confusing.
Now,
So,
what is your exact title? Because it changes weekly.
Hopefully it's on the screen because I don't know what it is. No, I'm just kidding. It's the Associate Director of Veterans and Military Services and C2C Coach. That's my official title.
Okay, the Associate Director of what now? Say that again.
Veterans and Military Services / C2C Coach.
Okay, now this is the wonderful thing about MCC, because you know how much I love this place. Do we have a director?
We do not.
But you're the
Yes, I associate director.
okay.
That's what I
okay.
do.
So what does your job entail? What do you get to do?
This new job it's only I've only started this job in January, but
Okay.
it mainly entails working with veterans, dependents of veterans, spouses of veterans. You get benefits for being in the military.
Right.
You can use them yourself. Educational benefits. Excuse
Right.
me. You can use them yourself. You can transfer to a dependent or a spouse.
I didn't know you could transfer this.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can. There are different circumstances, but you can transfer. And then when you get into educational setting, such as a place like MCC, you need to work with a person that could look at your schedule and make sure the classes that you're taking are approved. Because the VA only pays for certain classes. Like if you want to be, let's just say you want to be a nurse.
Okay.
And you want to take a yoga class, that's perfectly fine.
But they're not going to really.
Because it's not a part of the curriculum. You don't need to
So it's not
yoga
a part
class to
for
be
nursing.
Yes, for nursing.
But if you needed the yoga class for, say, your AA degree,
You could take it.
and
As
they would
long-
pay for
They
it.
would pay for it because that's a
Okay.
university
But
transfer.
if you just like, oh, I feel like yoga today. they're
Yeah,
not gonna
you
pay
could
for it.
take it, but you would have to pay for it. VA benefits just wouldn't cover the cost. They only
Okay.
cover cost. It has to be very specific on the curriculum,
Okay.
approved by the program chair. It's very specific of classes that you can take once you're in a program. But UT is a little bit more flexible because you need a certain amount of hours to transfer to a university, and so they're not as strict with university transfer students.
Now, as you said, there are a lot of rules involved.
Oh
here.
yes, and yes, and
Okay.
so it's always important. Students can make a schedule with me, but they can also make a schedule with their regular assigned advisor. But it's always good to go by and let myself or whatever institution you're at, and let what they call the school certifying official look at your schedule to verify, like, because you can't have any retakes. You can't take remedial or intermediate classes online, but you can take it in person.
Okay.
So there's just so many different rules. So it's always good to let them look, and so you don't get too far gone or get disappointed when you see you're only going to get this amount of money opposed to this amount of money.
Well, so if we have students who are going to come here based on their parents' VA benefits, how far in advance should they come and talk to you to get things started? Like if they're going to start in, say, August, should they come? How much earlier should they come here to talk to you to kind of get, you know what I'm asking? To kind of get things rolling.
It all depends. Like if you already have established your benefits, they've been transferred over to you, the window is very short.
Okay.
But if you don't even know where to start. Your parents have never transferred, they never did any of that. I would say at least 6 to 8 weeks prior to school starting, because it takes 6 to 8 weeks for the VA to make a decision on if you're approved or not.
Okay. Is there a time frame that the benefits have to be used within?
Once they start rolling, yes.
Okay.
Once they start,
but not until they start rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they'll go back.
Okay.
Let's just say, just for simple terms, you got approved August of 23, but you decided, but you had started school, and like a time period before August 23, the VA will go back and pay to a certain extent to a certain point. And
Really?
Then
Okay. Now, when we say VA benefits, what exactly will they pay for? Is it different things? I mean, do they pay for the tuition? Do they pay for books?
It
do they
depends on
give
which
you a
chapter.
stipend?
It depends on which chapter. There's various chapters. There's chapter 31, there's chapter 35, there's chapter 33, there's 1606.
This is why
and
I
then
haven't seen you since January.
Guess why?
You've
Because
been-
I have been learning
learning all
the
of
alphabet, and then they make you do a math equation. I'm not kidding. You laughing, but I have to do math on every student.
Okay.
You have to add it. You have to add, subtract, and divide to get the right percentage of money that the student gets.
Okay, and so they'll get a percentage of whatever.
Yeah, and the VA kind of determines that. I put it in, and they make the determination. I'm
Okay.
just, they're just taking one of my figures as a guide, because the VA pays differently. They pay for the time you're in the seat.
Okay.
So let's just say if we have 1,500 terms here at MCC. I don't know who I need to talk to about that, but we got it. And so if you're in one term and in that term, it's a 2 week over,
Right.
for the next term. So you don't
Right.
get paid for that 2 weeks. They start back paying you when
when the next term starts.
Every time you sit you're technically in a seat, you get money.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's why I've been learning this process, and I love learning because I'm a process person and trying to improve and
Did
enhance
you know
processes.
all of this about the job before you took it?
I did not. I feel like, they
Just
was
out of
like, look at that
curiosity.
sucker, she'll do it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love stuff. I love working with students. So
You are
anything-
very good one-on-one.
I love
Yes.
hands-on, one-on-one. I said that long title, but in my wording, I'm just a student advocate. So if that could be my title, that would be my title.
Well, you actually started here as it wasn't student recruiter. What was
a navigator, college
you
navigator.
You were a college navigator, and like if any student missed class or something like that, you would call to say, hey, is anything wrong? Is there anything?
And this role allows me to do that because you have to report stuff to the VA.
Okay.
So if a student is not, if they're dropping, I have to report that. If they're adding, so it really puts me back in that role, big time, because I work a lot with parents. I work a lot with spouses, so I'm working with the whole family in this, and it really puts me back in my dream job was navigating, and then I moved on to another job, which was my dream. Like every job I've had here, I loved, but college navigator was the one that really put my skill set to use, my personality to use, my willingness, and my helping profession like background.
About how many students do we have who are using VA benefits?
We're at a record pace. We're nearing 50.
Okay.
We're nearing 50. My goal is to get it up there.
And that's like, is that where we normally are? It's around 50?
I've been after basic research on my own. It looks like we were like 30-ish.
Okay.
So, but my goal is to get it way beyond 40, because I feel like we have a lot of people in this area, and they just, I want to work with all VA affiliated students.
So if anyone wants to get in touch with you and start asking questions about this,
Don't.
how do they get in touch with you? It's like,
Don't do that.
Don't
no.
do that. How do they get in touch with you?
They would just email me. Our emails have recently changed, but now I think you can still do shopson@meridiancc.edu. And you can also call me at 601-484-8723, and I'll try my very best to get back to you in a timely manner, emailing. This has been a learning experience, and I love every day of it.
So at what point do you think you're going to know it all about VA?
No, this is what I tell my students. I'm going to be new for a year.
Okay.
And then 3 years, I'm going to be training.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
And then when I start over in the 3 years, I'm going to be new again because I feel like something else is
Then
going
you
to
can
be
become the director
of the one person?
Yes.
I mean, you know what?
There
The
you go.
person that trained me is literally the director
And
at
it's
another
only-
institution.
and only one person.
And he is the only person.
There you go.
He be directing.
There you go.
I don't know what, but he be directing.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you to the teachers for encouraging me when I wasn't sure where to start, for seeing my potential even when I didn't, for inspiring me to reach farther and try harder.
Thank you, MCC. You helped me change my future.
Find your wings at MCC.
On behalf of executive producers Matt Milner and Tanisha Clark, media mogul Josh Taylor, and student producer Kai Cowan, thank you for watching. Hope you learned a lot. See you next week.